Hey guys, so I'm here today with a library haul, which is actually not something that I've ever done before on this channel. I absolutely love libraries just as much as I love bookshops, which is a pretty tall call. I have had a card for my local library since I was old enough to have my own card, and that local library was actually what triggered me getting back into reading when I was about 16, when I was in a huge reading slump. In the past couple of years, I haven't spent that much time in my local library just because I have so many books of my own to read. But moving away from my own personal library with only a small handful of books has been a fantastic catalyst to re-immerse myself in that world of free and really practically endless literature. I showed you guys in my little mini bookshelf tour the 20 or so books which I decided to bring with me from home, and I've already read 8 of those in the 9 weeks that I've been here, so clearly it's not going to take me too much longer before I've read through my whole stash. It is a strange experience in and of itself to be out in the middle of nowhere, but to be stuck out here in the middle of nowhere with no books to read, now that's just something that I do not want to think about. I have found 2 main ways to keep from going insane. There is a great little local bookshop, and there is also a really fantastic library service. I have bought a handful of books from that bookshop, so I do want to show you guys those ones in another video, but today I just want to show you the books that I've got from the library and talk about a library service which I think is pretty freaking great. I know in my update video I talked about how I'd moved a really long way away from home, but I don't know if I made it clear that I'm also 2 hours away from the nearest town. So yeah, popping to the bookshop like I would do at home every 1 or 2 weeks just really isn't a feasible option out here. Luckily for me, the library out here understands that and has this fantastic program called the Outback Borrowing Library. The Outback Borrowing Library is essentially a free postal library service. So you get this huge bag, which is so big it won't even fit in the shot, and this is both your library bag and your postage bag. You've got about 6 weeks of every loan, but they are super flexible. When you're done with all your books and DVDs and magazines and CDs and everything else that they offer, you just pop them in this bag. You make sure this tag says the name of the library because your name is on the other side of it. You pop it in the post. We get the post every Saturday. It arrives in town, and then the library staff fill it up with either your specific requests. You've got a little request form that you can include in the bag, or you can just request specific genres. So you can say, I would like some romance books or some modern literature books, or I don't care, just send me some books. They flip this little tag around so your name is on the other side, which I am not going to show you. They put it back into the post and you get it back a week later. It's so good. Like, I can't even comprehend how fantastic this service is. There's unlimited numbers of books, DVDs, magazines and CDs delivered completely postage paid and free to your door with little effort on your behalf. I had absolutely no idea that this sort of service existed in rural Australia, and I think it's just what an invaluable resource for any sort of remote kids or even remote adults, and I just got extremely excited when I found out about it. I visited the library in person both times that we've been in town this term, so I haven't actually done the mailing component of it yet. The first time that I went in, I picked up 3 books. I got The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, Murder in Mississippi by John Safran, which I do actually own, but I really wanted to read it right then, and it was sitting on the shelf in the library, so I figured it had to be a sign. And what else did I get? About a Boy by Nick Hornby. So that was exciting enough, but last time I went in, I think I got a little bit overexcited. I'd gone on their website, on their online catalogue, and prepared a big list of lots of requests that I had. So I think I picked up 9 books when I was in there, which is way too many for the 6 weeks I have to read them. Actually, I think the best part of this library service might just be their online catalogue, which is fantastic and it works really well, but I don't think they've updated the look of it since 2002. Just look at this. Isn't that the best? It's like a time machine. Thanks to the endearingly outdated online catalogue, I was able to go into the library with a fairly long list of books that I was interested in getting, and I ended up grabbing most of them and then splurge picking out some extra ones as well. I have already read 3 of the books that I picked up while I was there. The first one was Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. I then got A Long Way Down by Nick Hornby and Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk, which is probably the creepiest cover that I've ever seen. I think made creepier by the library sticker over this poor woman's face. I also picked up The Cart Runner by Colette Hosseini, which I just started, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, Coming Up for Air by George Orwell, and The Marriage Plot by Jeffrey Eugenides. They didn't have a great selection of modern fiction because it's still a really small regional library. They have the biggest Mills and Boon section that I have ever seen, as well as a really decent crime section and quite a lot of fantasy. But yeah, they didn't have that much modern fiction. I was really looking for some other Paul and Nick books, and this was the only one that they had. I do feel really great about using this library because practically all the books that I borrowed are books that I definitely would have bought if I saw them in a store. And as much as I love them, I really don't have room for any more physical books at home. So I'm pretty proud of myself for saving a considerable amount of money for one, and also reducing wastage by not buying physical copies of things that I just don't need. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Borrowing more books from a library was one of my New Year's resolutions this year, so I'm kind of stoked that I'm kind of actually meeting one of those for once. We are a quarter of the way through 2014 already, which is a absolutely terrifying thought, so let me know in the comments below how you're doing with your resolutions. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.